So, Christopher Nolan's latest movie is finally out in theaters this week, and, well, people have seen it, I've seen it, so let's get into it. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side, a place for those who live talking by movies. And with all that being said, go ahead and comment down below what you thought about this movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere right down the middle? Have your thoughts been inverted? Maybe? Sort of? I don't know. So without getting into gory detail, the movie deals with this thing called inversion, which is not quite like time travel, but it's like manipulation. So for example, if I just drop my phone here, if it was inverted, it would just, float back up like that. That's pretty much all I can say about it without getting into spoilers, and again, I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen the movie yet. And this movie pretty much just goes down the checklist of pretty much everything you expect from a Christopher Nolan movie. You've got some strong performances in John David Washington and Robert Pattinson. They're these very charming leads, and I really enjoyed their chemistry together, seeing them go on this globe-trotting spy adventure to save the world and all of that. It's also a giant spectacle with some great practical effects right in the center of it. I mean, where else are you gonna see a giant cargo plane crash right into an aircraft hangar all in camera, and also shot on IMAX, so this movie definitely is worthy of a large format screen. It's got a kick-ass soundtrack, not by Hans Zimmer, but from Ludwig Göransson, who also did the Wonder Woman soundtrack, so check. Michael Caine, check-a-rooney. And surprisingly, the inversion concept was not quite as confusing as I thought it was going to be. In fact, I thought I understood it a lot more than I thought I was going to, as it got explained more and more throughout the movie. And as we got to see more of this inversion thing in action and see how the story progresses with it in play, I really liked how it kind of came back full circle in a few different areas. Thought that was pretty clever the way it was executed. It's like, and Nolan's movies tend to be pretty exposition heavy, especially when you're dealing with stuff like time and dreams and other things like that, so it can be a little annoying just having the characters explain everything to you, but also when it comes down to something like this, it's kind of a necessary evil at times. And the confusion actually comes from the story itself. You get like a decent idea of like what the main characters are after and how they gotta save the world, but then it starts to get a little muddy, like why they gotta go to this location, why they gotta go to this character, why do they have to break into this place to steal this thing, what's the involvement of this guy, why do they have to stop him, why are they doing it this way, why are things moving in reverse, what's going on here, why is this car doing this thing? So it's definitely one of those movies where the concept and the characters take the front seat while the story just kind of gets into the back a little bit, so it can be a bit confusing why certain things are going on, but then you just kind of look at a giant plane crashing into an airport or some cool explosions and you're like, okay, that's really cool. But also, what the hell is going on here? A common complaint I've heard about this movie since I saw it last night was how the movie is too loud and you can't hear the dialogue, which, yeah, I mean, there are some areas where you really can't understand what they're saying, but I don't fully agree with that complaint, honestly. And I also saw the movie in Dolby, which if I'm gonna go see a movie in Dolby, I want the walls and the seats to rattle with the kick-ass percussion-heavy soundtrack and things like that, so really, it didn't bother me, but I do definitely understand where some people do take issue with the sound mixing in this movie. I just got swept up in the experience. That's the one thing about Christopher Nolan's movies, is even though maybe sometimes the story doesn't quite add up or some of the concepts are a little complicated, at the end of the day, a Nolan movie is going to deliver a unique theater experience you don't get to see too often anymore, takes full advantage of IMAX cameras, gives some great sound design, gives you some interesting concepts to think about on the way home. So if you didn't like this movie, that's fine. If you like the movie, that's fine as well. We're here to have a discussion, not to tout our opinions as the superior one, because, well, that's not how opinions work. So, ultimately, I like this movie. What are your thoughts on it? But, anywho, so if you want to see some more videos from me like this, you can check out this playlist right over here. And if you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch from me next, you can check out that video right down there. And of course, subscribe if you live talking by movies. And we'll see you on the Brockopp side.